My name is
Maudi. During the presidential...
During
the presidential and national assembly elections on February 25 and later February 26, you were with us on this same program, Nigeria Decides 2023. 2 weeks later, March 18, gubernatorial elections, House of Assembly elections. Do you think that between February 25 and now, there has been an improvement, that lessons have been learned, and that would you like to give the various stakeholders involved a pat on the back for a job well done? What do you think?
Okay, thank you for having me. My name is Maudi, the General Secretary of Alliance for Credible Elections. I'm not the co-convener of Nigerian Civil Society Situation Room. Alliance for Credible Election is a member of Nigerian Civil Society Situation Room, but I'm not their co-convener, and I do not hold any leadership position there. Okay, coming to the question you asked, where we are coming from and what has changed. I can just summarize it in 2 words. Those who are saying INEC has improved are the beneficiaries of the faulty process, and those who are saying INEC didn't improve are those Rotimi Amechi describes as those who are contesting election with INEC. Okay, what happened yesterday? We saw improvement in the deployment of INEC personnel and the materials. But also we saw another dangerous dimension when INEC people decided to relocate some polling units by their own power. Like in Port Harcourt, INEC personnel came and decided to, immediately she came, they decided to go and charge the beavers they have not used in somebody's house, and now automatically decided to relocate the polling units from where it's supposed to be located to somebody's house in Rivers. And with all the things that happened yesterday, and the behavior of INEC people, and also the behavior of the security people, who actually sat and watched Sidon look, and watched Nigerians beaten, humiliated, harassed, and even killed without lifting a finger. But my look to it is that in year 2007, there were good gains, but we just said all of them were bad, and we didn't celebrate those who distinguished themselves in year 2007. And I decided that what we should do is to have a roster of people, including INEC personnel, who performed very badly, and enabled people to rig elections, and announced and boldly asked us to go to court where they have prepared to rig elections. It's a continuous rigging. To have a roster of the people who distinguished themselves, like a soldier in Nsukka in Enugu State yesterday, who chased a talk that came to carry the ballot buses and beavers, and collected the ballot buses and beavers from the talk and took him away. The soldiers who intervened in Benue and those who intervened in other states, we need to call them out and celebrate them. And those who make sure that the citizens' mandates were, who made sure in the first place that the citizens were not allowed to vote, intimidate, where they provided the enabling environment for citizens to be suppressed, their votes to be suppressed, and citizens to be intimidated, beaten, and humiliated, and made sure that they didn't even show up at all to even allow the citizens cast their vote. We should also call them out. So we need to separate the bad guys who do not want the Nigerian to work, and celebrate the few ones who distinguished themselves yesterday. And also I want to look at, since year 2007, there's so much money has been invested in engagement with INEC. And year 2023, those money has been wasted. That, just to say the least, it's a waste of effort. We need to try other strategies. Because all the money we have done to the donor community, even the government, have put in order to do reform. We can't see the reform. In this year, 2023 general elections, we can't see the effect of the reform. It's a wasted effort, wasted resources, wasted human capital and capacity. People invested their time, resources, and brain to ensure that there is reform in ANEC. And at the end of the day, when we were fighting for financial independence of ANEC, it was as if when we get the financial independence, ANEC will work. Since they got the financial independence, ANEC have been going from bad to worse. So what do we have in year 2023? After over 14 years of reform, we have ANEC that has performed beyond any reasonable, whether local, even my village expectation. Everybody is talking that this ANEC has failed. So, and the security people, we know that security people is every government in power, but they should have lifted hand and saved yesterday, or even 25th, but they didn't. If you are a security man and you are professional, you are standing and watching people being killed, or watching people being people voted. You saw people taking away the votes away, and you didn't lift a finger. You've not done your work. It's not enough to deploy security personnel. It's not enough to deploy them on time. What did they do when they were deployed? And the ones who actually assisted some politicians to carry ballot buses, they didn't do their work. So we have used over 5 years to be telling the youth, come out, ANEC has improved. From year 2020 in Edo, Ondo, Anambra, Ekiti, and Osun, that come, there is hope. And we have lost that preaching. Because the people have gone back and said, no, I can't come out again. This is a waste of time. Our hearts are broken. All the things we have said, nothing has worked. We need to re-strategize as a civil society group. We are no longer going to be saying engage the city institutions. Strong institutions are better. But what about the human beings in the institutions who have vowed never to make anything work? So we used to have other strategies to engage with the citizens and see how to make our government accountable. We must require accountability from ANEC, from the security personnel, or even observer groups. We need to require accountability. Everybody must account for us. If I speak, we say because she's Igbo, she's not happy with that come. I am not happy with that come. When Fashola was contesting election in year 2007, Tinubu was jittery because Obasanjo came to hijack Lagos. I mobilized people as observers, and I was going around. We have our full soldiers. Anywhere we see any PDP trying to rig election, I am Igbo. I am a woman without a tribe. I have paid my dues. I have earned my seat. So I am a woman without a tribe. We will call our full soldiers. They will come and make sure there is no rigging. I did that. And when Fashola became governor, I wanted to be arresting people he called miscreants. I told him on TV, on AIT, that these people we are calling miscreants are the people who ensured that your votes were not stolen. I have paid my dues. You can't say because I'm Igbo, organize free, fair, and credible election. And let's start talking from it. I won't condemn it. Anybody can win. Even somebody we don't even know. A person can win. We want a free, fair, credible process. An election. Are we asking for too much? People collected over 4 trillion to do election, and they have failed. They should actually be sacked. We have to have a law that if you fail to deliver free, fair, credible election, you should be sacked. Because we know that Nigerians don't resign. Even when they destroy everything, they don't resign. We need to have a law that says if you do not do the right thing, Nigerians should come and sack you. It's not enough for us to be talking. We either have a Nigeria we can call our own, or we don't have any. It is time for us to start saying, it's not enough to say, this man, I know when we didn't allow him to be appointed because we know the people he worked for. You didn't tell us that before. If you had told us, we would have worked towards it. Now they hire all kinds of characters in INEC, and all of what they have come to do corruption and destroy the only thing we have to call our own, Nigeria. It's only Nigeria we have. We have bad governance. We have killings all over. This country has been saturated with the blood of Nigerians, especially for the past 8 years. We have hunger and starvation. We don't have anything to call our own except this country. And people are destroying the country and say, I am Igbo, I am a Yoruba. They are making us. They are not Igbo. They are not Yoruba. They are actually enjoying the small money, corrupt money they are eating. They don't have any tribe. Anybody saying I am Igbo, go to your country, go to your side. When Chimumadi moved and fight for June 12th, I didn't see them in the streets. I was there. Chima was a patriot without a tribe. When Orisa Agbakoba was beaten like a common criminal in March of 1998, I didn't see Bayo. I didn't see them. When Femi Falanos, the great Nigerians without tribe, when he was put in prison, I didn't see Bayo. I didn't see him. We were going to do Women in Nigeria meeting in Katsina, 1994. Femi Falana was in prison. The wife was the secretary of Women in Nigeria, Lagos branch. She drove from her house in Ikeja to my office, Nigeria Union of Journalists, number 2 Elikmo Close, Ikeja, to tell me, Ma, I have written the report you must read in Katsina. Please, I can't leave the children. You know Femi is in prison already. And you must go there, Ma. We must make our northern brothers and sisters to join in this fight for June 12 actualization. That is the commitment. That is the commitment. Then these people say, go to your country. Don't go to your country. This belongs to us. They are the enemies of Nigeria. Ruben, you will tell me to say people are not the enemies. They are the enemies of Nigeria. They are. It's because of what they are eating now. If the food is removed from their mouth, they will start talking like you and I. It's just the food. Food is ready, comrades. Their food is ready. They have nothing to contribute. They want to destroy this country. And they are the first that will jump to Ghana or Cotonou or Benin Republic. We don't want them to discard the country. We want to tell them the truth. You are the enemy of Nigeria. Allow this country to be rebuilt. We need to rebuild this country. People see the result they are uploading, and people are busy changing those results during correction process. And nobody is listening. There is INEC people now with police. See what is going on even in Adamawa. The INEC rec with the commissioner of police, they have been in the house since yesterday night, rewriting results in Adamawa every day, and nobody is doing anything. Police told us in Lagos nothing happened. Nothing happened. And those are the people who want to destroy this country. Nothing happened in Lagos that all of us saw. They attacked channels, TV, journalists, and cameramen. They attacked our rights. They attacked everybody there. And the police commissioner said nothing happened. Because of the food is ready attitude. But when the food is no longer there, they will see them trying to tell us how to resolve the problems of Nigeria. They contributed more than anyone else to create. That's what we see now. We have to change our strategy. We have been engaging with INEC for so many years. Nothing has come out of it. We have engaged with the police for so many years. Nothing has come out of it. We have to use the method we have been using with the military. We need also to go back and now say these ones have not worked. What can we do peacefully for it to work? We need to take back our country. INEC has failed us. Security people have failed us. Even some observers have failed us. We are not sure of the court, a court that can produce Supreme Court governor, candidates, senatorial candidates, can do anything. We don't have trust anyway. We need people, we need the citizens to come and say, let us re-strategize and see how we can engage with different processes that will give us a country we have been hearing for. In my time, I have been protesting for decades, and I'm still protesting. And the country is getting worse every day. We need a change of strategy.
Mrs. Maudi, we'll come back to you in just a second, ma'am. Let's bring this conversation back into the studio because you're here in Lagos. We heard the Commissioner of Police come out to say that there were pockets of violence, but the violence in Lagos was not widespread. What are your thoughts on that? And also the credibility of these elections that Mrs. Maudi has also been speaking on. What are your thoughts on the credibility of the elections that we have seen? Some people are of the opinion that elections elections need to be cancelled in certain states because of the level of electoral violence and voter disenfranchisement that we saw going on. What are your thoughts on all of this?
I absolutely agree with Mma. She's actually said a lot. And, you know, I spoke about the top. I actually look at leadership. If the leadership fails, then everything fails. If we have a presidency who's actually interested in what's happening in Nigeria, we do not need to be having this conversation. They would be the one to call for the cancellation of elections in the places that we had so much violence. For instance, during the presidential elections, we saw what happened in Rivers State. It was so, at times I just shut my eyes. I refused to look at some of those things because they are disheartening, you know. And with all that happened yesterday, people were told not to come out. I remember being in a project last Saturday. We all went out through our sister organization called World C in Lagos. We had gone to the market to sensitize people and say, don't sell your vote. It's your power. It's your, you know. And then as we were going around, the women were saying to us, they said we shouldn't come out. So people should not even bother. We won't come out. You know, we are not coming out because they've already told us not to come out. Some were packing their things and saying, please, madam, don't tell me to come out. Some other people looked at our logo. We were working with MacArthur Foundation and Rapper. A woman saw the logo of Rapper, which was children and women. She said, oh, these are so party people, you know, we don't want them here and all kinds of things. And so I won't be surprised. This, for as Mma has said, is a time for some people to cash out. Like our law enforcement persons, that's the time for them to cash out. They already prepared, okay, this election is going to happen. We are going to get our money. I remember last year having a training for police somewhere at Mushi, and I was saying to them, how can we reform police? How can we ensure that what is happening, you know, because every time you mention police, everyone says they are corrupt, you know. How do you change this tag on you? And then the woman called me aside, the policewoman called me aside and said, madam, you have to start from the top, you know. He said, because we went to monitor an election and then we were given 1 million, our boss was given 1 million naira. And do you know that when we came back to the office, our boss gave me 2,000 naira. And I'm like, what was the 1 million given to your boss for? He said, no, we went to monitor elections and then we left it there. The next day when I was coming back to that police station to continue the training, it was a 3-day training for police officers. On their parade ground, I was just going to the meeting hall. I heard their boss saying to them, if anybody comes back to this office with less than 30,000 naira, the person will hear. And so it's a racket that I don't even know where to start from.
So
do you understand? It's systemic. Nma has already spoken about INEC. What about the people we call professors who monitor elections, who contribute to changing figures? What do we say about them? What do we say about the cliche of go to court? Even a politician said to me in a group today when we were chatting, I said, we don't have any problem as long as it's a fair and free election. She said to me, go to court. Ngozi, go to court. I'm like, excuse me, did I hear you right? And she maintained it, you see. So we have, I don't know where we're going to start from, but we really, really have to start from the drawing board. A lot has gone wrong with us. And I keep saying that the leadership, it starts from the leadership. It starts from there.
Quite correct. Maudi, let's come back to you. There is an aspect of this whole process that I thought is probably new. Maybe it's not quite new, but at least it came into the public domain. And, you know, let me start with Lagos. There's also the example from Oyo State. What you may call the spiritual side of the 2023 Nigerian elections. In Lagos, we saw some priests from Lagos going to do ritual at a certain spot. They call it Ojualale. That's supposed to be the center, the spiritual center of Lagos. And it was an anti-Igbo ritual where they were saying it's Sanwo-Olu that must win. And they were slaughtering a he-goat and using kola nut and drinks and all of that. Then on election day, there was something they called Agon. Agon is a branch of the masquerade cult. On the streets of Lagos, specifically in Ikeja, at Omole Junior Secondary School, ritual offerings were placed at the entrance to the polling unit. In Oyo State, there was also in circulation the video of a Cherubim and Seraphim church, I think, I'm not sure, but a certain spiritual house where, there was a small ram that was to be sacrificed at the altar to make sure that the candidate of the APC won, Testim Folari. it looks like this is not just about thugs and touts and violence. This is also about heavy spirituality. How did we get to this point? That ancestors and masquerades and ritualists and altars have to be called to the rescue. Where does this leave the Nigerian people? And of what effect is that? Because this morning, some of the people who have been saying they are leading in the polls, I've seen videos of them going to church to pray to God, to thank God. So what exactly is going on?
Okay, we are working with a political class that have no conscience. They have destroyed virtually everything. If you even bring God down, they want to corrupt God. So this is a culture that is very dear to us, and our church, our Christ, our Imam, our Muhammad that are very close, very dear to our hearts. They want to use it and corrupt it for their own gains. But even the people they are using to do it are also destroying themselves and the culture that they are supposed to protect. All these things they are doing is not from their heart. They are just doing it to impress the powers that be, so that they will not remove they will not remove them, and also they will keep on getting small money from them. It's not from their heart. All the things they were doing, they were reacting according to the instruction they gave to them. Political parties and the candidates have been the greatest threat to this democracy since 1999. Anything you bring, they destroy it. It has never happened since elections started from 1998, from the local government to other positions. It has never happened. It was years going to this year, 2023. There's nothing that didn't happen. Just assuming that Yakub was the one who conducted the 1 year 2007, I would have been killed. Because I was going from one polling unit to the other, looking for PDP that are trying to rig election in Lagos. I would have been killed. I was just telling myself, thank God it wasn't that these people that were in power then. So people were suppressed to the extent that they reduced them to less than animal. Yesterday, in Lagos, in Rivers. And also, nobody thought it's something. And the man said some skirmishes happened, but it was not widespread. It was not serious. It will happen to him. Whatever you wish for others will come back to you. What you sow, you reap. That one is basic and certain. So it is very sad that they have gone to be destroying. They call themselves Christians. They call themselves Muslims. But they do not believe in anything. What they believe is how to get power and do corruption and to sustain themselves. But I do not also think that when they go for funeral services, they look at the people who are there then in states to be buried. Because all of us will one day go home. It's just timing. We won't go. One day we will cease to exist. All the things they have acquired, they don't know who that will eat it. So it is important that politicians learn new lessons, that the road they are treading on is the wrong way, to come back to the right way. And it's also time for the citizens to chase them out of the place. They have the power to chase them out. So the citizens will tell them, when they say enough is enough, they will know enough is enough. Even the donors will no longer come to tell us, this is what to do. You must engage ANEC. You must engage police. Something they have engaged for this is 24 years of this democracy. And nothing is working. But they will still want, because that's what they want. They define what you engage. By the time the citizens take up and say, no, this is where we want to go. If they don't want to support, in the past we were doing it without any support. We need to change our strategy. By the time the citizens, these people doing evil, but the food is ready people. They are less than 1%. It's just that the silence of the majority that have been burdening them. But when everybody is speaking from one village to the other, from one community to the other, from one town to the other, from one local government to the other, one state to the other, if Nigerians start speaking, they won't run away to go and enjoy their roots, either in Germany or US or Japan or UK. So the citizens have to come out. Because these people do not have anybody's interest at heart. Look at Ebonyi State. Somebody was killed for nothing. Many people died going to this election in Ebonyi State. If an opposition political party candidate visit a traditional ruler, and the traditional ruler prays for the person in Ebonyi State, in the night, thugs will come and kill the traditional ruler. What is even happening in Imo State and Ebonyi is even a sorry state of what Nigeria has become. We need to change our strategy, because when we rise as citizens, when we cook for these politicians, they won't eat it. They won't finish the food. They have been cooking for us. It is time for us to cook for them, and they will not finish our food. We can no longer keep quiet, because if we keep quiet, we will lose this country. The only thing we have left, we must rise and speak, saying politicians no longer will like that. We are no longer going to take it from, including those who have won the elections, and those who, whichever way, even with new parties, know that it's no longer business as usual. With those aspiring to come, and those who are going, and those who are inside, all of them are only interested to do corruption. That is why 24 years of independence, I'm sure Chimobani them, and Emezazu them, and Innocent Chukuma them, they will be turning in their grave. They will be asking God, is it this what we fought for? Is it? When we were fighting, we were thinking that once we have this democracy, the education system will start functioning, health system will function, we will have good road network everywhere. But now we don't have anything. Bad governance is the order of the day. Killing is the next profession in Nigeria. Kidnapping, banditry, hence men killers. There is no way you look that you have a good story coming out of Nigeria. The only thing we have left is Nigeria. And that's why we must not keep quiet. We have to speak. We have to mobilize our people. We are ready to take this country back. The food is ready, people will destroy it, and we will have no place to go.
To you in just a moment, ma'am. Let's go back to VGC in Lagos to get an update from Arise correspondent Oba Adeoye, who has been covering the ongoing election in that part, as postponed till today by the INEC. Oba